Welcome to the channel, folks. I am Rogue Dubs. We are finally here. We are doing our tier lists for all characters in the game. We're going to go faction by faction, just so it's a little more digestible for you guys. I feel like if we did all 115 characters, that would be quite a lot for you guys to take in. So we're going to go faction by faction, starting with Wei and Jin. Hope you guys enjoy the video. If you do, please consider subscribing and liking the video. It helps me out a great deal. Let me know in the comments what you think. Obligatory, this is my opinion post here. So there are going to be different opinions, which we love. That's the fun part of games like this and tier list content. Having different opinions. People, had some great points during the treasures video, and I took a lot from those comments. So I'm trying to be more intentional with my rankings this time. I feel really good about where I'm at on these characters, but I want to get that out of the way. So, a general note here before we start on Wei. Wei is the most complete faction in the game. By that I mean their unique tactics are the most synergistic with their faction. They have flat damage bonus from Cao Cao with a 70% bonus for Wei emblem characters. They have barrier damage bonus with Jahadun, getting 100% bonus to barrier damage, which is very easy to activate as well. They have attribute scaling with Cao Pi for 100% bonus on the ice attribute. They have summon cooldown reduction with Guoja. So this is a faction that supports its own very, very well. Brought the best of any other in the game, save for maybe Toyotomi, but we'll get to that when we get to Samurai. So they also primarily support the Ice and Slay emblems. So I know you're thinking, we rated those very low in the emblem tier list. But because they support it so well, there are several strategies that are very viable using only Wei or focusing on Wei. In the case of Ice, there is the Wei Jin Exodia. If you don't know what Exodia means, it's a Yu-Gi-Oh! The card game term where there's a special legendary summon called Exodia. And if you are holding Exodia's left arm, right arm, left leg in your hand, all those different pieces, and you play them at once, you win the game instantly. And that's what the Wei Jin Exodia refers to, because he is a Wei brave general using Soaring Blade, the strongest summon skill in the game. And part of the Wei Jin Exodia would be Cao Cao, Jahadun, Cao Pi. So there's three pieces of the Wei Jin Exodia right there, and they're very important. And Wei Jin also buffs himself because he has barrier damage with ice attacks. So that is very strong for bosses. And on the Slay side of things, they have the combination of Zhu Huang, which causes Slay to spread to other characters when you inflict Slay, and Jia Shu, which doubles the chance of Slay happening. So that's incredibly strong for phases and depths of torment. So they have a boss slaying synergy. They have a phase slaying synergy. They combine well with each other, which is all that to say Wei is going to have higher rankings as a result of this because they support each other and play together so very well. Going to cover this each time we do the tier list, but I wanted to discuss what the weighting of this is. So this is nothing to do with the summon skill or unique tactic of that character. It is going to be primarily around their traits and how effective their traits are when you're using this character, and their starting possessions. So if they have Wei Brave General, that's obviously very strong because there's so much Brave General out there. Flower of War is nice, it's okay. But if characters are missing a lot of supporting emblems, that could, or possessions, that could affect their ranking. And the last one is going to be, their moveset combined with sort of how fun they are to play, right? So a great moveset can elevate a character. A bad moveset will obviously detriment a character. And then fun to play, I've played with all of these characters at least once. If I don't really remember at all, like what it was like playing with them, that means they're probably pretty boring. And I have a couple people on here that I thought were boring, so they will have their rating will be affected by that. So with that being said, intro out of the way, let's dive into the video. Thanks for watching. So first up is Jahadun. If you know the channel, you know this is one of my 5 favorite characters in Dynasty Warriors in all of the games. I love this guy. I love his story. I love his personality. Love his voice actor. I just think he's great. Traits here, he gets a 5% attack increase for every Wei emblem. He charges Muso when he inflicts wound. He gets 1 second off from the timer when he inflicts wound, and he gets a 10% attack increase when you're knocked in the air by an attack. Not really that relevant. His possessions are a Vigor and Slay emblem. He has Wei, Brave General, and Commander. If you could not tell, Jahadun is going to be an S tier for me. So this is maybe a bit of bias on my part, but Jahadun to me has got the tools he needs to be as strong as he's been, previously. He has got the attack plus 5% for every Wei emblem. I mean, that feeds into itself, obviously. I mean, once you get Cao Cao on your team, you're unstoppable, essentially. Love his moveset. His X attacks, his EX attacks are incredible. The charge 3 has huge range, does big damage. His charge 5 is always extremely powerful, including in this game. He's got an iconic Muso. He's easy to use. With Brave General and Wei, that's really all you need. I mean, there's going to be characters we're going to see later on that have more synergies, but Jahadun is an incredible character, an elegant moveset. His traits have leave something to be desired, but at least he has 2 things that play well with wound. So you can go the wound route. You can also go the ice route with him pretty easily on Wei. Very, very faction-dependent character, but incredibly strong. Huge attack scaling with his normal, level up set, I would say. Some people say he needs to be buffed. I think he's not as strong as he has been in previous games, but for me, he's an S tier character. Let's go on to his cousin here. Hao Yuan is his cousin, not his brother. His traits here, he gets a 3% health regeneration when he defeats a Sin Spewer. He gets 50% attack toward enemies with freeze, 50% attack toward Sin Spewer enemies. His possessions are Wei and Master Archer, skill, and ice. There's one reason that Xiahou Yuan will be an A tier character, and it is because of his trait that he gets a 50% attack bonus toward enemies with freeze. I mean, that's crazy, right? Like, that instantly makes him one of the best characters to create the Wei Jin Exodia. The downside of Jahadun, of course, is you can't use Jahadun to get barrier damage with Wei characters, but Xiahou Yuan does not have that problem, and he also buffs Wei Jin Exodia. Why is he an A? Just a little bit of, lack of comfort with hit moveset. Some of his attacks have you standing there longer than I would like. His Muso is really cool. It fires a very long projectile forward, but doesn't have a lot of range otherwise. You can kind of line it up and get some good kills, but not very active for very long. So if you know me, if you watch the channel, you know how much I value Muso. And I like his, but it's not on the level of Jahadun, so some other characters that we'll talk about here. But, also lacking Brave General, that's what drops him down to A, but he stays in A because of how easily he enables the Wei Jin Exodia, which is one of the strongest things you can do in the whole video game. So definitely a good character to use. Just feel like there's a little bit missing to break him into that S tier category, but still deserving of an A to be sure. So next is Zhu Chu. His traits, he increases his total strength emblems by 50%. He gets attack bonus by 10% for every might emblem. There are going to be 10 after the update. By the way, this is going to this is going to keep in mind that the update's coming out. So I'm doing these rankings with the changes that we're getting, buffing might characters, buffing speed characters. So that will be part of the ranking. I forgot to mention that in the opening, but just wanted to mention that here. And then he gets a maximum health increase by 10% for every 5 levels. So his possessions as well, he's Wei Brave General Might with Strength and Ice. I was going to rank Zuchu lower, but he's got to go in A. I mean, there's little reason not to. The reason that he's not an S is just because of some hangups I have with his moveset. He's a little bit boring to use. It's just not the most fun moveset. His Muso leaves something to be desired for me. His X attack is incredible. His charge 1, it's outrageous. He does the little roll with a ball, rolls like a ball and bounces all around the area. And now that he has might too, I mean, Zuchu can probably get some of the highest stats in the game. Literally the only thing that's setting him back from being an S tier is just how fun he is to use, which I think he could be more fun. It's a little bit monotonous using that C1 every time you start a phase. And that's really the only thing, but he's going to be one of the strongest characters stat line wise once the update hits with his might. If you get Rachel enabled, and then you're incentivized to take even more might because he gets 10% extra attack for having might. And then if you get DN Wei in your party, then you're getting bonus attack from all the strength emblems you have. So he's going to have huge defense because of his bonus strength emblems. He's going to have huge max health because of his health trait, and his attack will be crazy too. So some people will probably say he's worthy of an S tier, but for me, just a little bit lacking on the moveset side, the fun side of things, which is important to me. So I'm dropping him back to A. Next up, Zhang Liao, once again, a personal favorite of mine. We're just going to drop him into S tier, and now we'll talk about why. I mean, I would think people would not have an issue with this ranking, but let's just go over it. A 5% attack increase for every Brave General emblem. He gets a 50% attack increase for 10 seconds after every 100 enemies defeated. He gives extra bolt damage enemies knocked in the air, and he gets 30% attack bonus for charge attacks toward barriers. Literally every single trait is about being relentless, attacking, pushing forward, defeating enemies, getting stronger and stronger as the phase goes on, getting stronger and stronger as your run goes on. There are so many Brave Generals. There are so many Wei Brave Generals. He's just unrivaled with his traits, almost. And then he's got Wei Lubu Army Brave General. So you've got the ability to get Wei scaling, Brave General scaling with Ujiasu Hojo, and who else? Well, he's the Brave General scaler for damage, so never mind. But then Lubu Army too. You've got Lu Linshi you can find for barrier damage on Lubu Army. You can have 300% barrier damage easily with Zhang Liao if you want. And then you got all the Wei stuff too on top of that. So starts with skill and bolt, two very strong emblems in the game. You can really do whatever you want with him. He doesn't require you to stick with Wei other than getting Cao Cao active and Jahadun. But other than that, you can go crazy with Bolt with him. And on the Slay side of things, if you buff Slay and keep in Lu Linshi, her Dazzling Bullets will be super powerful. So his Muso is incredible. His moveset is great. It's very fun. He's a fast character. He keeps moving forward. His voice lines are amazing. I don't think I'll get any pushback putting Zhang Liao in S tier. I think people would understand the reasoning behind him being here. If you don't, let me know in the comments, and we'll talk about it. But let's go ahead and move on here. Next up is Zhang He. So he gets a 5% attack bonus for every Grace emblem. He replenishes 20% of your health when you level up. He gets a symbol charge by 50% after every 1,000 consecutive hits. That's pretty nice. And he also gets an XP bonus by 100% for enemies defeated with Muso attacks. His possessions we see Wei, Brave General, and Grace. Those are the relevant ones. Speed and Ice. Listen, I know that we're really, kind of going heavy right now on high ranking characters, but I can't justify putting Zhang He lower than A. And this is what I was talking about with Wei. It's like they just they synergize so well with each other. And he's a speed character, which is getting a huge buff. And he's Grace, which will help enable Momiji's 5% attack bonus for every speed emblem. So I'm putting him in A based solely on how powerful his traits are. Um, and the 5% attack bonus for every Grace emblem. There's now two more Grace. So I think there's 8 or 9 Grace characters in the game. So that's not bad at all. He can also, replenish his health and level up when leveling up. That's incredible for high traversal, especially traversal 6. It's great for the beginning of Depths of Torment. XP bonus when with Muso attacks. We love that. It's a very nice thing to be a couple extra levels stronger before you fight Goma at the end, right? That will pay off as the run goes on. Moveset wise, he's good. Not my favorite, but his X attacks are pretty fun. He's a very active character. He moves around a lot. He's got some very strong stuff going on with him. So I'm putting him in A. I know it's it seems like we're only saying everybody's great, but that's kind of the way experience. To be honest with you, it just is candidly. Moving on to Zun Yu. Traits: he increases Muso charge by 10% for every Wei emblem. He makes it more likely for heroes with Wei emblem to appear at Crystal Saplings. Same thing, gets the experience bonus by 100% when he's defeated with Muso attacks. Just Wei strategist. He does have Wisdom and Ice. So Zun Yu is a very unique character. He's got unique actions. He places weapons with his charge 2 to 6. And then when he has more than 3 weapons, he creates a zone around it that then blows up and launches enemies away. So Zun Yu, I mean, I really like Zun Yu. I'll just be candid with you. I'm putting him in A as well. I mean, I have to be honest with these rankings, and something to kind of keep in mind with Warriors Abyss that we don't talk about enough, I think, is that there are a lot more good characters than there are bad characters. So that's kind of the reason that you're seeing all these guys ending up in A, especially in Wei. And another reason that he's in A is because he has Wisdom. So if you get Mature Yukimura Sanada's Japan's Greatest Warrior online, you love that, right? And then you got to give credit for the unique action. It's really fun. The trap creation is a unique play style. I don't want to put him in B. I think the lowest I would go is B, but I'm good with this ranking here. Having him in the A tier, you get that Muso charging with Wei emblems. The fact that he can see Wei people more often in Crystal Saplings is extremely strong. It really helps get the rest of that stuff online, like the barrier damage with Wajah Hadun and the 70% attack bonus with Cao Cao. Just going to be a very easy thing to start to get online. He's going to be stronger because of his Muso attack. His Muso attacks giving bonus experience as well. Give Zun Yu a try. Don't underestimate him. He's really, really fun. Okay, we're going to move right along to Joshu. So Joshu increases attack speed by 10% for 10 seconds when we one-hit kill. He makes danger zones appear more often and increases the amount of tears of blood acquired by 50%. He has Wisdom and Slay. He's got Wei and Strategist. Those are the two relevant possessions that he has, starting with Wisdom and Slay. So Joshu, for me, I just used him recently. He's going to be a C tier. not the most fun character to play as. Strategist does have some stuff. He's just kind of going in too many different directions. Like you could do mature Yukimura Sanada, you could do strategist. He does have way, but I was disappointed with his moveset. His traits don't help you a whole lot. Like the danger zones technically will help you get to a higher level because you'll be defeating more enemies, of course. But it's just not there for me. There's a little bit left to be desired when you're using him. You'll know what I mean if you use him. His X attacks don't blow you away. His Muso attack is pretty middling. Just not a favorite character of mine. Really has never been. He has some cool move sets in different games, but this one for me is just not going to be good enough to get him above C tier, to be honest. Next, we have Genji. So she increases Muso charge by 10% for every Grace emblem. She increases total charm emblems by 50%, more experience by 100%. Enemies are defeated with Muso attacks. She starts with Grace, Charm, and Wind, as well as Wei and Grace. So those are relevant, I guess. The Grace only matters because of her particular Muso charge bonus. We're getting more Grace added to the game. Genji is going to be a B tier based on her traits because her traits are so strong, especially on her unique weapon. Getting bonus charm emblems sounds like Rally to me, and she gets an experience bonus 100% on the Muso kills. It's another time we see that appearing here. Does not have Flower of War, interestingly, so she really only has way to scale her attack, so that kind of bumps her down to B. And then, the range is always an issue with Genji. Her Muso attack is kind of low range, but just by virtue of the fact that she can get to Rally so much easier than other characters, she's deserving of at least a B spot. And I think B is fair for her with how her moveset feels to use. Next, we have Cao Cao. He has attack increased by 5% for every Wei emblem. He makes it more likely for heroes with Wei to appear crystal saplings. His unique weapon increases defense by 5% for every Wei emblem, increases attack by 30% for charge attacks toward barriers. His starting emblems are Wei, Talent. Those have scaling with attack. Starts with Wisdom, Charm, and Ice. I'm smiling. I think you all know what's coming here. Cao Cao is at top of S. Just an incredible kit here, right? I mean, he basically makes his own rally with the attack bonus for every Wei emblem, and then he also makes it easier to find Wei. Like, it's just crazy. Fix the list so the heads aren't cut off there. Okay. So Cao Cao, I mean, he makes his own rally, right, with the attack and defense bonus on Wei characters. He makes it more likely to find Wei characters. When you're first starting this game, if you beeline to Cao Cao and pick up as much Wei as you can, you're going to have a much easier time playing the game. He does more damage to barriers. All of his traits synergize with each other. And then, you get on top of that, he has the unique action of a clone being summoned with his charge attack 1. And then the clone does extra attacks while he's on the field. His possessions are fine, but really it's the starting emblems that mean a lot. Getting that head start on Wisdom and Charm, the two best emblems in the game at the moment, plus Ice, getting you towards that ice damage that you want to have from Wei Jin, barrier damage from Sal P, buffing the ice damage. He's an incredible character. One of the strongest characters in the game. Probably the best character to use when you're first starting the game would be Cao Cao, in my opinion. Once you can get to him, because he is not available at the start. It's pretty expensive to get to him, but it's totally worth it. We're moving on to Dian Wei. His traits: he increases defense by 200% when health below 50%. He gets an attack bonus by 100% while his health below 50 as well. And then he gets invulnerability when hit by 3 seconds after being hit. He has got Wei, Brave General, and Might, Strength and Fire. So DN Wei, I want to put him in A, and I understand this might be controversial. I'm putting him in B, and it's really because of his traits. Like, he's a very similar character to Zuchu, but he just doesn't have the same things that are quality of life changes, right? Like increasing his max health, increasing his defense, increasing his attack by so much with the might emblems. He's got might, so he's going to be way stronger. His move set is just not as fun as it has been in the past. It's kind of a shame. I used to love Dian Wei. I haven't soured on him, but I've kind of grown out of liking Dian Wei as much. I think he's a cool character. He's strong, and I mean, I think too there's something to be said for the play style of having a very tanky character that can live like super long in traversal 6 and take a ton of damage and keep going, get stronger with lower damage. I just don't play that way, so that's why we're putting Dian Wei here in B tier when some people might say he deserves to be higher, and I understand that, but we're sticking with B for his traits not being as good and his moveset being a little bland for me. Speaking of bland movesets, not to put too fine a point on that or to spoil the ranking, but we're going on to Sao Ren. He gets a 5% bonus defense or Wei emblem, increases total strength by 50%, and he gets same thing, invulnerability by 3 seconds when hit by an enemy. His possessions that matter are Wei, and that's it. Starts with strength and ice. The other possessions, when I say that, I mean the other ones don't have currently anything that buffs the attack, any kind of scaling. They're just there for certain unique tactics, enabling certain unique tactics. In case of King's Shield, there's like 2 unique tactics that rely on King's Shield, so it's not very important. But Sao Ren, not trying to be too controversial here, he's going to go in C. Not very fun to use at all. His Musou is not my favorite. They put his attack that I like the most on his charge attack, where he just rushes forward with the shield like this. That's pretty cool. I like how he shoots the stuff out of the shield. That's cool. But you kind of have to go for a strength emblem maxing build to make his attack worthwhile, having Dian Wei and Zhou Tai in your party and then just keep taking strength emblems, which is not my favorite way to play. It doesn't really help scale your attack very well. And he doesn't have Brave General. He's only got Wei going for him. His traits are about defense, and the invulnerability I think is a terrible trait because you get that from having strength already, right? So for me, Sao Ren is not fun to use. He is in C because he's in Wei, just candidly. I mean, his traits are fine. They can be strong if you focus on that strength aspect, but doesn't do it for me personally. Moving on to Zhu Huang. He has an attack bonus by 20% when he's healthy, when health above 80%. He gets an attack and defense bonus by 50% when he acquires a peach. And he gets an attack speed bonus by 5% after evading for 10 seconds. He does have Wei and Brave General. He's got Vigor and Slay as well. Zhu Huang as well is going to be in C tier for me. It's all about his moveset and his traits. I mean, he's got Brave General, he's got Wei, so you have the scaling there, but it's just not a very engaging, fun character to use. He used to have the ability to pick people up with his axe. Like in some games, he picks them up with the axe while he's attacking and then slams them down. I see why they didn't do that here. It's very strong. It'd be kind of overpowered, but just not really one that I look forward to using. I don't look forward to using him again. So for that reason, he's going to be in C. Just a very middling character. I wish they did more with him than they have. He's kind of an odd man out too with Slay a little bit. There is some Slay synergies with Wei, as we talked about before, but they're very kind of niche. So I don't know. He's just not for me. So next up here, Wei Jin. His traits: he gets a attack speed bonus by 10%. For 15 seconds, we gets 1,000 consecutive hits. Muso charge with Wei emblems by 10%, and then he gets a 1 second reduction when freeze is inflicted. He does have Wei and Brave General. He has skill and speed. Wei Jin is going to be kind of a weird one. I'm going to put him in B at the top of B because if you have Wei Jin, then you can't take Wei Jin. You can't have Wei Jin in your party. He's going to be very strong since he's a speed character, but his traits are kind of below average, I would say. Like they don't really matter at all. Like the Muso charging for me, like I focus on wisdom so much that I barely even notice, when you have a ton of Muso charging. It just doesn't really matter to me. Like I'm going to be charging Muso because that's how I play. Like I'm going to be charging it very much because I go for a lot of wisdom. So and the consecutive hit thing is kind of weird too because his attacks are not like super where he gets a lot of hits. I wouldn't say. I used him in a video and I don't remember him at all. I remember a little bit of his moveset, but for me, that's a reason to put him in B because I just don't see a lot of the benefit of using him, candidly. So for that reason, we're putting Wei Jin in B. A little bit forgettable, and then you can't use him when you have him. So those are the reasons. Guoja is next. Traits here, he charges Muso and a symbol by 20% when you activate Peaches. He gets a Muso charge by 10% every Wei emblem, and he gets a 50% bonus on Wisdom emblems. Also has a unique action to discuss. He summons a sphere with charge attack 1 to 3, and then he releases it with charge attack 4 to 6. Possessions, he's a strategist and Wei with speed and wisdom. Guoja stands out to me as a character that is going to become much, much more powerful when the update comes out because he has speed. He's going to be an A tier for sure because he has the bonus wisdom emblems by 50%. Lets you get to double Muso much faster. Lets you get to Muso attack power 4 much faster, or 3, so that you can buff your Muso attacks, including your Muso finisher. You can also stack Kobayakawa and Lusu there so that you get bonus attack with them in your party. He has speed now too, so you get that bonus from INA, 50% bonus for characters with speed. So he's going to have a ton of great stuff to do with the update. And his unique action is interesting. I wouldn't say it's like very strong. It's not as strong as you would think looking at it, but it deserves to be talked about because it's cool. It's a different thing, But staying in A, just because he doesn't have the greatest moveset, it's still good, but it wasn't my favorite that I've used. And but he's just going to be cracked with the update. You can also go MYS, of course, because he has wisdom. But that being said, let's go ahead and move on to the next character. Next character here is Sao P. He gets an symbol charge by 10% for every Wei emblem, which is more noticeable in my opinion than the Muso. That's very, very good. He makes it more likely to find Wei emblem characters, increases Tears of Blood by 500 at the start of a battle in each phase. His possessions, he's got Wei. Also worth mentioning, he has Torchbearer because that helps enable MYS. And he does have skill, so he would benefit from MYS. Skill and Ice. Sao P is very fun to use, enables a ton of stuff. He's going in A. I mean, you could bandy around and say like, oh, I don't know, but his moveset is very fun. He's an underrated character. You're going to be able to charge a symbol more often. You'll finish your Wei build early, so you can pivot to focus on getting MYS active. You can pivot to taking on more ice, or perhaps more slay, even maybe try to get Gan Ning in your party to get a slay attribute bonus that way. So he enables a ton of stuff, and he gives you more Tears of Blood, which is awesome. He's just a very comfy character to use, and he's very fun to use. One that I would like to use a lot more. Have not been able to use him. I haven't had occasion to use him as much, but very, very strong character, burgeoning on an S tier, but just not quite there as far as attack focused traits that would help him get over that hump to get to S tier. Finally, we have Wang Yi. Wang Yi charges a symbol when you inflict freeze. Increase attack by 50% to enemies with freeze. Charge Muso when you destroy projectiles by 1%. She has got Wei, Flower of War, Charm, Ice. Wang Yi, if you take away one thing from this video, you've got to use Wang Yi. If you are sleeping on Wang Yi, if you have not tried her yet, you have got to try her. You've got to. She's so fun. Her Muso creates these like shards of light with the Trishula that then explode. It's the coolest thing. She is so cool. Like, this character, I think they really cooked, because previously she was very focused on like one enemy at a time. So I was concerned that she wouldn't have that, she wouldn't be valuable to use in a game like this, but she definitely is. She's very fun. Her moveset is awesome. One of my favorites. And she has the attack by 50% tournaments with freeze. She's basically a more fun version of Xiahou Yuan. So she creates the opportunity to use the Wei Jin Exodia excellently, right? Like, she enables that very easily with that trait. And then she gets another thing that helps with freeze too. She charges a symbol with freeze. So focus on freeze with her. She's got a 2-star ease of use. That's poppycock, as they say. She is a phenomenal character. One that pleasantly surprised me. So she has earned her spot in A, in my opinion. We're moving over to Jin here. We're going to try to fit like one of the other categories in each of these videos, including when the update comes out. So I'll probably do with Wu, I'll do other Dynasty Warriors, and then with Shu, I will do the guest characters, because that will probably be after the updates come out that we do the Shu video. So for this one, the extra will be Jin, which makes sense. They've got some people in there that are Wei and Jin, and we'll talk about them soon. So that's why we're covering Jin as well in this video. Sima Yi is up first. Let's just not even waste anybody's time here. This was one of the strongest characters in the game. He was bugged at launch. They have fixed that, so he's not as cracked, but he's still incredible. I mean, look at his traits. 50% bonus wisdom, charging Muso on freeze, shortens cooldown when his health is low. Doesn't matter as much, but he gets a 50%, that 50% attack bonus for enemies with freeze. His possessions, he has Wei, Jin, strategist, crazy, strength, wisdom, and ice. Very strong emblems. Unique actions, he puts a light sphere on an enemy and charge attack 2 to 5, and then he inflicts extra damage on them with his charge attack 1 to 6. Sima Yi is often one of the strongest characters in Dynasty Warriors games, and this is no exception. He is borderline broken in this game. You can do the Wei Jin Exodia with him very easily with that bonus freeze damage. He can buff his attack from Wei, Jin, and Strategist. He can get status infliction from Strategist as well. Just an incredible character. One of the strongest in the whole game, period. So he's very much deserving of that S tier ranking. His moveset is pretty fun. His X attacks are great. Once you get Suma Yi, you will clear it. You will clear. Like once you buy up to Suma Yi, I'm confident in saying you will probably be able to clear without, reservation. All right, let's move on to one of Suma Yi's sons. This is Suma Shi. His traits: he gets an attack by 30% bonus toward barriers. He gets Muso charged by 50% for every Jin emblem, and a 10% bonus for commanders. He does have skill and ice. He's Jin only with talent. Does have Torchbearer. He starts as a commander. So Suma Shi, for me, this is kind of a tough one for me. I'm gonna put him in B. His moveset has been better for me in the past. His traits are quite good. I just don't know how fun I found using him to be. He'll be at the very top of B. How about that? We'll put him at the very top of B. If you can get MYS online, which is not very difficult to do, then you get 100% attack bonus, but you're kind of foregoing the attack bonus with commanders by doing that. So he's Jin only basically for scaling plus talent. So the talent scaling is not that good. It's like 30% attack bonus on talent scaling. He's missing barrier damage too. He has no access to barrier damage, which is pretty tough. Other than with Wei Jin's ice barrier, you basically have to have that, and that's only 30% with ice focused attacks. So a character that I would say is hurting a little bit without global barrier damage, but still very fun to use. I think he's got a fun-ish moveset. That's why he's in B for me. Wang Yuanji is next. She has an assemble gauge bonus by 20% when her health's above 80%. She increases her attack by 10% for every Jin emblem. She gets the barrier. That barrier is nothing. You almost never activate it. If he defeats 4 Sin Spirits, she gets a barrier. It's probably good for Depths of Torment, but you're not going to get it very often playing through the regular story. Her possessions: Charm and Ice, Jin talent. Wang Yuanji, the way I'm talking about her, you might think that she's going to be lower. She is not. She's going to be an A. She's going to be right here. Very fun character to use. I love her Muso. I had a great time using her. She starts with Charm, which is great for me. And she gets an attack bonus by 10% for every Jin emblem. So she actually has access to some natural Jin scaling up to 60% if you have all of them, including her, which is nice. And it will get stronger if they add Deng Ai and Jahoba and Wen Yang eventually, which we are very, very much hoping that they will, and Jia Chong. Those are characters we all love, and we would love to see them. Kind of bummer they were not included at the start, but what can you do? This is mostly on the vibe of her moveset, her being an A tier for me. Had a great time using her. I did like a meteor build with her, and it was a blast. She's very, very fun. So we'll leave it at that with her in A, and we're gonna move right along to Zhang Chunhua. Forget how you say it, but our traits here: she gets more health restored by 50% from Peaches, a symbol charge plus 10% for talent, replenishes health by 1% for every 50 enemies defeated, which is great for Depths of Torment, and Traversal 6. She's got Wei and Jin, Charm and Slay with talent. Zhang Chuna is extremely fun to use, and she also has Wei. She is in A tier. If you take away something from this video, once again, I will urge you to use Zhang Chuna and Wang Yi. They are very fun. The threaded claws are great. They are so fun, and I love her weapon. I love her move set. I would like to play with her more. I have not had opportunity to, but that's a character that I definitely enjoyed playing as. I was pleasantly surprised when I used her on stream on a whim, sort of at the start of a stream one time. I just was like, let's try Zhang Chunhua, and she was awesome, awesome, love her. Strength of the move set does not have good enough traits to be in S tier. We're going to move on to her son, Suma Zhao. He has a shortened summon cooldown for all heroes by 20% when health above 80. He has bonus attack towards Sin Spewer enemies. Yan increases a symbol charge by 50% for every Jin emblem. 3% attack bonus for every speed emblem. And he starts with Jin talent plus speed and charm. His unique action, he sets up a shockwave with normal attacks and releases it with a charge attack. There is only one reason that Suma Zhao is not in S tier, and it's because he doesn't have access to barrier damage. He's missing barrier damage. Other than that, this is probably the highest attack value you can find post update. Zuchu is. Zuchu is, but second highest I would imagine calculation wise is going to be Suma Zhao because he has speed, and he gets bonus attack already with his speed. So you're going to get 8% attack if you had the Momiji unique tactic that buffs that gives you plus 5% attack for every speed emblem, which we discussed in the update video. You're going to be getting 8% attack per speed emblem, which is incredible. A symbol charge with Jin is nice. A symbol charge I prefer to Muso charging. And then he has talent as well, which is something. It's at least something, a little bit more attack bonus. But he would be an S if it were not for his lack of barrier damage. I love the X attack, the surfing on people. One of my favorite characters. I really enjoy using him. I think he's good. I think he's a very, very good character. Last but not least is Zhang Hui. He gets an attack bonus by 3% when you move on without being hit by an attack with a max of 50%. He charges Muso when you acquire XP, and then you get a bonus XP by 100% when you defeat enemies with Muso attacks. Those kind of feed into each other very nicely. He has speed, skill, and Muso Jin talent. Very simple possessions, but very strong. Both of them have some scaling, obviously, with them. Zhang Hui is going to be in A tier as well, right behind his ruler there, Suma Zhao. This character has one of the most fun movesets of anyone we found here. Once again, he's held back by not having any barrier damage naturally, but he is an incredibly powerful character. Jin, overall, you're noticing, of course, that they are either S or A. They cooked with the Jin characters. I don't know what else to tell you. I'm very happy with this completed moveset, this completed tier list. Zhang He is cut off a little bit on the right hand side, but that's the whole list. I feel good about these rankings. I think I was honest with myself. I think no D tier is accurate, just because we have everything here. We have everything here. We have the barrier damage. We have the flat attack. We have summon cooldown reduction. We have status infliction with Zun Yu, which I forgot to mention. But we have all of the elements of stuff you need to make a faction very strong. That is why Wei looks like this. That they have such higher rankings than we might see going forward. But I'm very happy with my 4 S tiers. I think I was fair with my assessment of the characters below them. Let me know in the comments, your opinion of these. Which of my takes here are particularly hot. Which ranking you were surprised by. Which character you think I robbed with my ranking. And again, I've been thinking about doing this for a long time. Appreciate everyone's support on this video. Would really love if you get left a like. You made it to the end here. It means a lot. We will be working on more tier list content, putting a lot into it, trying to make it a fun watch for you guys. So let me know what you think, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, bye.